it's Todd Ault. It's the 93rd episode of Risk On. It is June 14th. Happy birthday to my business partner, Will Horne, and the CEO of ALZN. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? I got it off the break. Sorry.
No way.
Sorry, that was wrong. And the CEO.
Freud.
So let's try that again. And the CEO of Ault Global Holdings. I am the executive vice. What is wrong with me? Okay, let's start this over. It's June 14th. This is the 93rd episode of Risk On. Happy birthday to Will Horne, the CEO of Ault Global Holdings. I am, of course, the executive chairman of Ault Global Holdings. I'm with Marshall Wilkinson.
How are we doing?
Jason Bartholomew.
What's
Our
up?
producer Josh is in the house. Skyla, what's up?
Hello. Happy Monday.
Maybe one of the biggest days of my business career. You will all be finding that out soon. I don't know that if I could be more happy. I will disclose things when I can disclose them. In the meantime,
Happy birthday, Will.
happy birthday, Will. Happy birthday, Donald J. Trump.
Yep.
Happy birthday to Howard's son,
Yep.
a friend of ours who's on our board of directors. Someone else's birthday today is too. I can't remember who else it was. Anybody else have a recollection?
Not that I know. No.
So I'm a little distracted as those people who follow Ault Global or ALZN. I'm sure everyone knows there's filings flying around. We'll be in touch about those soon. Jason, what'd the market do? What is up with the NASDAQ, by the way?
I don't know.
What's going on here? We're short.
We're short.
We had a little
pummeled.
pain today. Little pain.
Yeah, but you know what? Just a little bit of pain, a little bit of sacrifice will lead to pleasure, in my opinion, on Wednesday. Actually, the NASDAQ finished up 100 points today. It actually lifted the Dow, which was in the hole over 200 throughout the day. The Dow finished down 85, 34,393, and the NASDAQ was 14,174, plus 104. And the S&P, whatever, that's all-time high again, 42.55, plus 7. I got to give them the credit. Mm-hmm. Not for long, in my opinion. Bitcoin was well over 40,000 for most of the day. Retraced to 39.9. Look for that to test 40 here. It's very fluid, obviously. Ethereum 25.42. The ratio around 15 to 1. That has lifted up in favor of Bitcoin recently. Oil again, 71.09. You're paying more at the pumps, obviously. Gold was down $12 today to 1867. And we'll talk about gold a little bit.
I can't even hear you.
You can't?
What'd you say? I can't hear a word anyone's saying. Oh boy.
Silver
I'm glad you're here. You look good.
$28.
I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
Copper $4.50 and Euphoria over here to my right. Take it away, Euphoria.
At an all-time high.
Oh boy.
Hey. Wow.
By the way, I had a conversation with someone about naked brands. The Naked Army, I'd be paying close attention to that stock. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. I don't know all the details, but I kind of understand why the CEO did not do the interview with us now. And, you know, when you got that much cash, I guess you're always probably looking to do deals, right? So never know what's happening there, you know. But I am told that what I was confirmed was when he can, will be the first interview.
I mean, that's all we can hope for.
Can we believe him?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I believe him.
I believe Justin. I do, and I think he's trying to do the right things, and he's trying to do something with that cash, and so you know I'm supportive. He needs space to make sure he's comfortable.
You know, Todd, that's a verbal gentleman's agreement. You know, I've seen some of those verbal agreements in the past here recently.
Yeah.
They didn't quite work out the same.
Yeah, the Australians are probably people of their word. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Here in America, people give us verbal agreements all the time. They may decide to move on from them.
Yeah.
Maybe have some pizza with you.
Yeah, it's pretty low
And then
blow.
decide to change their mind.
Yeah.
Because of you want a contract or something.
I mean, just
you
a couple
wanna
hours.
You want to wire millions of dollars without any like a signature on anything, with no notice.
Yeah, no review or due
You know,
diligence.
it's really starting to hit home now that Bitcoin's back over 40,000. I'm a little disappointed to say the least, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
But Elon Musk may take Bitcoin again.
Yeah.
Let's all get a little nervous and pay attention to him. The God, he may strike us with Bitcoin.
Yeah, the Lord may accept it again if we do his
Listen, I
bidding.
love his products, but I think he's being a little ridiculous.
His tweets are outrageous.
And by the way, you saw that Oakland A's took Dogecoin.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to go buy a ticket at the Oakland A game.
Hey,
Yeah.
it could be the Las Vegas A's soon.
I want you to know officially, I just want to be for the record. I've always liked the athletics. When I was playing baseball as a kid, I was on the athletics times.
Gotcha.
When I was like in Little League and stuff. If they come to Las Vegas, unlike the Raiders,
Yeah.
I will be a fan.
Yeah,
And I will
me
be
too.
a fan. I'll be at the games, et cetera, et cetera. The exciting news is this week, we'll probably know the date of the Risk On conference.
Awesome.
In fact, I think I sent you an email so you could see the proposed dates and the venue, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, awesome.
But it's kind of shaping up. Right now, we're talking about doing it at the Virgin Hotel.
Yep.
Our preliminary dates are around the end of August, which my wife thinks is too soon. That's 2.5 months from now. And actually, I really thought, be honest with you, very carefully, that you'd be the deciding factor as the actual dates. Because I know that you're really organized since you build buildings and infrastructure. You have to be organized and have a team organized around this.
Yes.
And I figured you'd want to chime in because you know me.
Yeah.
I won't be organized.
Yeah.
I'll be like, let's get it done.
Yeah.
Come on, Skyla, get it done right now.
That's more like it.
Yeah.
Skyla, you do it.
I'm anal, yeah.
Right.
Definitely
So-
need that.
I sent you the email.
Okay.
The guy who's planning is willing to come see you, but the Virgin Hotel is being very cooperative.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
Like it.
has offered us some pretty big incentives, and we could do F&B there and really take care of people. I think there's going to be 300 spots,
Okay.
and it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I can't wait.
Dude, that's really a hearty ambition there. 300 spots. I mean, that's a good amount. I was thinking more like
I think Marshall, yourself, Skyla, Josh, the team, Willie, everyone, we'll get 300 people
Oh,
there.
I agree. Totally. No question.
My wife's concerned about the temperature, but I'm like,
I bet Virgin Hotel has some great air conditioning.
oh, yeah,
Imagine-
for sure.
Yeah. And ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
have ice and,
Ice.
Yeah.
and a pool and stuff
And a
like
pool,
that.
yeah.
And
I
by
mean-
the way, the guy who's doing it for us, who's really apparently one of the top guys in Vegas for running these venues, he even got me I can say a little bit. He even got me a flight to, let's say, a private flight to ring the bell for the NASDAQ.
Amazing.
I mean, you want to just let it
Wheels
go,
up.
but we can't really
He-
let it go.
I know.
Let it fly, Todd.
We will affect as soon as the press release hits.
Yeah.
We will affect a that Saturday night. There'll be a party, and apparently Virgin has like a nice pool, and we can have a
Yeah.
party area.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's going to be a fun time. We're going to broadcast it, a virtual broadcast. We already know we're going to have Brad Lee speaking there.
Okay.
Marshall Wilkinson's going to speak there.
You bet.
A surprise guest, a childhood star, is going to speak there about his.
Is this
I
one of your
can't wait.
guys?
What?
Marshall, Blaze Wheaton. Check out the new sports club Money Baby at Virgin Hotel. We just built it, and it opened last weekend.
I don't know, Blaze.
Okay.
Let me tell you, I had dinner last night with the head of lodging for Amex, and she's been this weekend. She was at Virgin for the opening.
Okay.
And she just sung its praises.
Did you see this guy, Matt? Matt M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm a young bankruptcy attorney in Florida who stumbled upon your channel through the Naked Army. Love to hear your insights on everything.
Awesome.
Yo, Matt.
You'll
where
be
you
hearing him, Matt. Thank you for
Yeah.
the $9.99 super chat.
Thanks, Matt. Where are you from in Florida?
Yeah, we're in Florida.
Nice.
So continue on with your market update, my friend. Sorry about that.
Hey, we got through it all except I just want to tell you that gold got pummeled, silver was flat, and copper was 452. It seems like copper's 452 every day now.
And I feel like gold is 1,800 and it can't break 2,000.
Yeah,
It's the same story.
Yeah,
man.
it really is.
It's the same story.
You know what? It's fine. I mean, there's the miners as far as gold and silver mining companies
Yeah.
that have an all-in sustainable cost.
That are manipulating the market?
Well, no, they're not. They're not necessarily. But J.P. Morgan may or may not be.
Maybe.
That's a statement that has been proven true in the past.
Yes.
Via the significant fines levied to them from the SEC.
Yep.
But I will say this about gold and silver tickers such as AG, AUMN, EXK. All these mining companies, Barrick Gold, GOLD, they have, generally speaking, they are in a pretty good position because they're all in sustainable cost to actually pull the metal out of the earth is quite low compared to the current spot prices.
Yeah.
So that gives them a little bit of margin to take advantage of that for profits and or dividends. And also I noticed AG, First Majestic Silver, Keith Neumeyer out of Vancouver, British Columbia. Great CEO. Very big fan of him. He's my second favorite CEO, obviously. Anyway, they
Kiss
took it
ass.
upon themselves to mint their own bars right out of their mine. If you go on the First Majestic Silver website, they sell
Yeah.
their own.
They smelled them?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Jason,
That's
I
great.
wanted to cover, if we go to the screen real quickly here, I saw a move nicely today in Canon. What's up with Canon? What's up with Riot going up
Yeah.
14%? Marathon. Obviously, I know that crypto's back up.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is I just saw James. By the way, yeah, my glasses are broken. I just saw Kramer talk about over the weekend, Friday, about how crypto could see new lows.
Yeah.
And is it literally? I mean, Marshall, in your opinion,
Yeah.
I want to leave that Canon up there for a minute. Is it literally just your opinion that the great one, and I'm not referring to Wayne Gretzky, who is truly the great one.
99.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Is it the great Oz that is Elon, the arbiter of
All things.
of all things, the what is it, the
Of all
the
things,
head of the
markets.
simulation,
The
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
He's the
yeah.
God, Marshall, the God.
Did Elon, the four-letter word, just decide that everything's better now?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what happened?
No, that's not what happened. It's not. So you know what I've been saying, and the drum I've been beating is that the smartest money and the biggest institutions recognize that these levels are the levels they want to play at, and Goldman Sachs says that they're going to offer options and futures trading ether.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Goldman, like this crypto bear, is now in the game.
It's so funny. I run a company, as you know, Ault Global Holdings on the New York Stock Exchange, and I'm harassed effectively by bankers who tell me, if you're in crypto, we may not have a bank account for you, but yet Goldman Sachs can offer options and future. I mean, it makes no sense to me.
Exactly.
It makes no sense how the big boys can get in, the little guys get pounded. Bank accounts shut down. Wells Fargo shut our bank account down a year and a half ago.
Yep.
It was a terrible experience.
Oh, I know.
Because you mine crypto? Okay, you're fired.
Yep.
But big institutions, we own crypto. Oh, we're gonna have a crypto trading desk.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make any
Exactly.
sense.
And we're going to create derivatives that we can trade. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, the smartest
This
money...
is like extremes, as you said. I cannot
Yes.
get out of my head. It's in my head.
It's
It's in my
crazy.
head. It's in my head.
extremes.
Oh,
Sorry.
Coinbase will take you. Just
Yeah.
massive IPO. No
I
big
can't
deal.
get out of my head that you said we are in a world of extremes.
Yes.
Now, I promised myself yesterday, and I only have a little. How much more time do I have? I have 8 minutes.
Yep.
I promised myself I'm going to be stepping out for a pricing call, guys. We know what this is about. I promised myself yesterday, if you saw Bill Maher on Friday, it may be one of the greatest. I don't even know how to express it. I mean, Bill Maher is basically stripping down the Democratic Party about their insanity that's taking place. Like, you guys got to watch this. You got to get the link and watch this show. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. You got to watch Bill Maher. I'm telling you, he's like spitting out gold. He literally saying, I'm a Democrat, and I believe in the democratic process. However, we are insane about
Right.
what we're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he talks about in Seattle, a city councilman suggested they'll be outlawing crimes, meaning there'd be no crimes in the city.
Right.
If you're poor and you steal a sandwich in Seattle, you shouldn't be prosecuted because you didn't have the ability to feed yourself.
I didn't hear this.
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
and of course it didn't pass.
Okay.
But he literally goes, and you wouldn't even if you were watching that show and you just showed up on Earth for the first time, you might even actually think that this guy makes complete and utter sense. Like he actually makes the most sense I've ever heard. He's somewhat degree almost a moderate to and he had Rob Reiner on there, meathead member from All in the Family.
Yeah.
And you had this other woman who I could not believe it. This is my I gotta cover this, and that is I'm a believer that marrying the right person, whether you're a woman or a man, is 95% of your success. If I was not married to my wife, there's no way I'd have what I have. She has been completely a perfect partner. They're very hard to find. You have to marry the right person. If you want to be a successful man, that statement behind the ever successful man is a great woman is absolutely true. This woman on Bill Maher talked about, because it's COVID, us women had to be home with our wives all the time. Now we had a bunch of excuses as to not why we shouldn't be having sex with our husbands. I couldn't believe this. Like this show this weekend was incredible. You got to watch it. I know it's on YouTube under Bill Maher. I suggest you watch the whole hour. But the ending about it's called something phobia.
Was it a segment?
It's a segment about. He talks about progressive phobia.
Okay.
Progressive
And
phobia.
how we don't realize that dorm room isn't as bad as where you lived in 100 years ago, or that yes, there's still racism, but the blinders of progressive phobia is that you can't see reality that we've been making progress.
Yeah.
Yes, he says we still need to make more progress in race relations. There's all kinds of problems. But to simply say that there's none and it's worse now than ever before is insanity. He's like, the Tulsa burnings that took place 100 years ago,
Yep.
Yeah.
KKK running rampant 60, 70 years ago. You can't say that there's no progressiveness. He also says that the Gallup does not even run a poll anymore that says, do you believe that mixed couples are okay? He says that 87% of people, Americans, said last poll with Gallup that they were fine. They stopped running that poll. Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I mean,
Yeah.
Jason, you got to watch it. No, I'm asking
You got me turned in. I was
I'm asking
watching
you as a
Bill
friend.
Maher.
You got to. Did you watch this weekend?
No, I missed
You've
it.
got to watch it.
All right.
And whatever I could do to make sure everyone watches this, if you follow politics, Bill Maher may be the savior of the Republican Party or he might actually save the Democrats if they listen to him, but they won't listen to him because they're arguing now. This is what they're arguing. They're arguing that they should be tampering with now free speech. That the free speech shouldn't exist. By the way, the ACLU, which used to say that hate speech was protected, the ACLU is under attack over this. Yeah.
Yeah, what it's like is politically incorrect from the 90s.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's kind of going back to it, which I like about him is that he's a free speech advocate.
For sure.
And definitely the party has their extremes, and I'm glad that he's kind of sticking up, against them. But
Hey, so Marshall, I think
Yes.
we need to talk about a couple of things that are geopolitical.
bring it on.
And the top one is obviously the one with the nuclear facility
Yeah.
in China.
Yeah.
It appears that a French company, Framatome. Nick, you got this real quick? It looks like
You can throw it up.
Yeah, it looks like from engineering company from France has raised concerns about a possible leak at a Chinese nuclear plant that it part owns. Now, keep in mind, this nuclear plant is less than 100 miles from Hong Kong.
Okay.
And also, according to the warning, it's issuing an imminent radiological threat. That's according to U.S. officials who spoke to, I guess, CNN, who was covering the story. Apparently, their company's warning letter accused the plant of raising the limit on an acceptable amount of radiation detected outside of the plant to stop it from getting shut down. So the government sources told CNN that the Biden administration does not believe that the issue is yet at a crisis level. This is coming from Newsweek, by the way, today.
Okay.
So this is something, and this can affect some uranium stocks like URG, actually down today, 4%. Full disclosure, we're out of URG. But it could have an impact on a lot of uranium stocks.
I got to step out in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to acknowledge Travis. How do you pronounce his last name?
Arave? Or yeah,
Arave?
probably.
Or Arave?
I would say Arave.
We could go to a
Arave.
rave.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
go Arave.
This guy's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we show that real quick?
Awesome.
All right, dude. We're gonna get you 2 tickets. Don't you worry about it.
We're going to hook you up, brother.
That's great.
You're in.
Look at this guy. He's a small business owner. Hey, I'd love to find out what kind of business you have too, by the way. And we help small businesses. Now, obviously, we help small businesses with the idea that they go public, but we actually do lend to small businesses too.
Yep.
We do have a lender's license. We do lend to small businesses on a case-by-case basis. So we'd love to meet up with you, Travis. Anyway, I apologize, guys. Like Friday, I'm a little distracted.
Understood.
But it will make for a great rest of the week and show
Absolutely.
when we're done here. Hey guys, Marshall and Jason are going to take over. I am in the middle of one of the largest deals I've ever done, about $500 million, give or take. And so you'll hear all about it shortly, and hopefully people will. The most important thing is that hopefully the 2 drugs will get to human beings and help people. That's what we care about here.
Absolutely.
It won't be there for my father. I saw my father over the weekend. Yeah, Alzheimer's sucks. But I will be back later, maybe even today. I can envision there might be a time where we go live again today. Might happen. So stick around, folks.
Love it.
We'll see you shortly. You guys got to flip over, obviously. Thank you so much.
Hey, Travis pronounced RV.
RV, I saw
RV.
that.
Okay.
RV.
Cool.
Hey, what I want to say about this Chinese deal
Yeah. Let me.
is that what this could do, and I think is probably likely to do, is there will be issues around sensors, detectors,
yeah.
upgrades at current nuclear facilities because of this.
Oh yeah.
And so I think companies to watch are the ones that are in that business.
Sure.
Detectors,
Yeah.
sensors,
Any kind of
plants that need to be upgraded.
Yep. Nuclear. Any cleaning companies that might go there
Yep,
to the
cleaning
site.
companies.
I do see that this could be a concern, though, if this is true. If they raise the acceptable limits in order to avoid detection, that is a
That's a
huge,
problem.
huge
That's
humanity
a huge
problem.
Well, there has to be a governance oversight
Yeah.
over that, right? There has to be an industry standard of levels that are acceptable and unacceptable.
Yep.
And if they're manipulating it, and if they're playing by their own rules, then they're
Yeah.
going to be in trouble. This is nothing. You don't fool around with this stuff.
No, not at all. I mean, we saw what happened in Fukushima.
And let me tell you, those guys died.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The Fukushima 50. Those guys
Oh, yeah.
said, "We're going to go in there. We're gonna fix this thing," and they didn't come back. Bro.
Nope, they did not, and that's sad.
Very.
So what's going to happen here? Are they? So here's the tough part: is that can we trust them to do the right thing?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
We can trust them definitely pushing back on standards.
For sure.
And we could trust them doing whatever the hell they want to do.
But you
let's
know,
be
when we
real.
wanted to go in there, we wanted to inspect the Wuhan laboratory, the wet market in Wuhan, to try to figure out what went wrong with the COVID virus.
Yeah.
There was pushback there.
Yep.
They wouldn't let a group of scientists in there, an epidemiologist, a biologist, and such.
Yep.
Now, will they let some folks come in here to this reactor here and take a look around? I mean, if Biden says Biden administration does not believe that the issue is yet at a crisis
Sure.
level.
Can you see the strings?
Like, what is going on?
the
Do I need to glow in the dark?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, is Hunter Biden? Did he say that? Like, what's going on
yeah,
here?
yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't think the Chinese are going to let anybody come in and do anything. The Chinese won't let anybody come in and tell them anything.
Yeah, I don't.
But I mean, from a market perspective,
Wow.
if there are publicly traded companies that deal in sensors,
Right.
and detectors, I think that's something that you probably want to look at. If this becomes crisis level, and they start changing standards, or there's a protocol that comes out, massive upgrade that's required for nuclear facilities, you can make some money there.
Real quick, it looks like we have, for those of you that have been with the show a while, you know we traded TRCH. We made quite a nice profit on that. For those of you that are still long, it closed today. After hours, it's $3.70. It looks like they have declared their special dividend. As you know, Torchlight is doing a reverse takeover with Meta Materials, and Meta will be the new company on the NASDAQ. And Torchlight is going from oil and gas to green tech with Meta. But Torchlight also had assets and land that they are going to liquidate, and they're going to give the shareholders a special dividend. So this is going on right now as we're on the show live. That's part of the actually, that's
The benefit of a live
It's really
nature.
a benefit of doing it live. So I was just kind of looking at that, and the news aggregator came across. So
Okay.
I don't think we have the actual. Here we go, right here. Torchlight declares special dividend of new Series A preferred. It looks like you have to be a shareholder of record at the close of market trading on June 24th.
Okay.
And so what that means to me, and what that could mean to other people, is there will be an opportunity to harvest a dividend if you own this stock. So just do your research and look at it and see if there's any value of that to you. That's
You
all.
still got a couple days.
Absolutely.
You know, I got some good news. I came across a Bloomberg article, and I wanted to bring it up here. aside from the fact that Goldman's going to have a trading desk offering futures and options and derivatives on Ether.
Yeah.
But what did I say last week? Ethereum's the play?
Oh, yeah.
Because of the Metcalfe law.
Oh,
because
yeah.
of the network effect.
Yep.
And, I mean, the fact that these guys got in the game, it's unbelievable to me.
What about this? So Goldman's talking about moving a lot of traders down to Florida. Who's going to sign up for Ether? Who's going to trade crypto and go to Boca, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they could move that trading desk down to Florida.
Yeah, hang out in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
What I love, though, is that Goldman, they said that everyone has to be back in the office. You know that Jersey City office?
Right.
Butts in chairs, people at desks. Everyone.
So no more COVID excuse.
So no more COVID excuse,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So everybody's back to business, back to work in the office.
Yep.
We got a trading desk for crypto.
Yeah,
okay,
nice.
so let's start cooking with gas.
Yeah.
What I love about this too is that I will say to all the young guys and people who are trying to, excel and move up in their job, I can imagine how difficult it probably is to get a promotion virtually.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
have to be in an office, man. They
Yeah.
have to see you.
Yeah.
They have to feel your presence.
Yep.
Right? I mean, think about it. If they continued virtual, I don't see people moving up in the hierarchy.
I don't know. It's really hard to build relationships virtually.
Yeah,
What
it
the-
is.
what- I mean,
Extremely. People need to feel you too. Like you
Yeah.
have to have a presence and a character when you come into a room, take
Yeah.
control of a meeting. You can't do that behind a screen.
No, it's just it carries no weight. You don't really know the tone. You can't really read the body language.
Yeah.
You don't see the excitement or the dismay. You just don't. You can't do it. It's like playing. Here's an example. It's like playing poker live versus online.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a prime example.
Totally.
The only thing you can go on with reads on online poker is their betting habits, their betting patterns.
Right.
If they have a good hand, they bet half the pot, or if they have a monster, they check it over to you all the way down.
So it's just pure analytics at that point.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's all math and odds.
Yeah.
There's no live reads. Like I can't tell like if something was bothering the player. Maybe he got in a fight with his wife or girlfriend and he came to play poker just to kind of blow off some steam.
Yeah.
He's looking to gamble.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Exactly.
So it's a similar situation.
There's an article in Bloomberg that says fed up young workers fear they need offices to save their careers, and they're right.
Yeah, for sure. The structure is important.
Definitely.
The structure leads to consistency. It leads to a regimen. It could lead to success. But if you're in there with other people, other colleagues that are better than you, you can also learn a lot from them too.
Absolutely.
So that's important.
I mean, Skyla is a perfect example. Like, don't you see the benefit you have being in an office every day with Todd and all
Oh,
of us?
yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be able to do my job successfully if I was at home.
Exactly.
Whenever we're away from each other, like, there's always just, like, a disconnect where, like, I'm not able to, like, face-to-face, like, feel his mood. Or,
Yes.
like, be able
Yeah.
to talk to him. So.
I mean, you've been like so critical and you help everybody and you're on the ball. I mean, Todd says it to you every day, so you know that. You wouldn't be able to do that behind a computer
No.
screen.
no.
Yeah.
It's just
And then you're going to reap the benefit of that because you have value. You
yeah,
know?
absolutely. I got a couple it looks like a couple of thank yous. Some people got some risk on gear, so that's
Okay.
nice. We
They
like to
finally
see
got
that.
it? They got it?
Yeah, so I was happy to see that. It looks like what do we got here? DRDP received my risk on shirt today. Thank you. You're welcome very much. No
Awesome.
problem.
Awesome.
Let's see what else we got here. Any other questions? Laugh out loud. Oh, JP Morgan, Goldman, and others may require the vaccine to work was on Wall Street Journal.
Didn't you mention something to me about vaccines and flying Delta?
Yeah, there's a study right now that there's some serious issues with blood clotting and an elevation that could be magnified. So they're looking at the possibility.
So what does that mean?
Well, what it could mean is those people who got the vaccine
Yeah.
could possibly be restricted from flying, which is crazy, but that's what they're looking at.
So like the whole thing is get the vaccine so you can fly.
Yeah,
Okay.
like J&J, I know had some serious clotting issues.
Okay.
And remember, it was suspended for a while.
Yeah, I
It
remember.
was suspended overseas.
I remember.
Several countries.
Yeah, I remember.
So with that elevation could come some clotting issues, and then there's some liability there.
Yeah.
So they're looking at that, which, yeah, that's pretty crazy. But you know what? It's a life choice. Some people got it, some people didn't, and that's just the way it is right now. Whether you believed in it or not, that's your choice, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. See, DRDP29 says upward mobility opportunities are fewer since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Every company eliminated at many levels. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, if I was in a power structure and I wanted to hold my power, a lot of times in that strata of middle management, they're trying to hold on to all that power.
Yeah.
The best thing for them is to keep you behind a screen.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's job security.
That's job security,
yeah,
right?
no doubt.
So you want to get back in the office, guys.
We don't want some guy like Marshall rolling up in here and just showing what he's got, and then all of a sudden you're just like shriveled up to nothing, and then he just takes your spot.
Yeah,
you know,
and
that's just
then you're screwed.
you know they were definitely intimidated or fearful of that.
No doubt
So
about it. But I thought that was great news. I was happy to hear it because that's my whole ethos, man.
Oh, yeah.
Butts and chairs, let's rock, work
Yep.
a full day.
you want to get into these. So we want to get into possibly the inflation ideas. Obviously,
Yeah,
the
let's do
Fed
it.
is meeting Wednesday.
Okay.
Jerome Powell to discuss some stuff as far as transitory inflation. For those of you that don't know what transitory
I was going to
inflation
say,
is,
explain what that means.
it's basically what they're saying is it's just temporary.
yeah.
Temporary inflation.
Yeah.
And it doesn't include like day-to-day commodities in your life. Like the formula for the CPI doesn't include stuff that you know, like a Snickers bar or like some food. You know, obviously it covers stuff like soybean futures, corn futures,
Yeah.
oil, but it doesn't really cover like gasoline. It doesn't cover your day-to-day stuff, bottles of water. Anything like that you buy every single day without thinking about it.
Yep.
That stuff's going up too.
Yep.
I mean, look at chicken breast. If you want to get boneless, skinless chicken breast,
Yep.
organic. God forbid you get some organic, skinless, boneless chicken breast.
Right.
In Canada right now, it's like $28 a pound.
Oh
Unbelievable.
my gosh.
It's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
If you
Yeah.
look at like,
It's crazy, right?
insanity.
It's
I did
insane.
not know that.
93% like organic ground beef through the roof.
Yeah. Same
Like-
thing with a ribeye.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Try to buy a ribeye.
Food
I mean,
is
it's up $10.
food is skyrocketing, and what Powell's going to do is he in my opinion, they can't raise interest rates.
They cannot.
But what they can do is talk about tapering.
Yeah. They can
So-
talk about tapering.
Tapering would mean that they were going to transition out of the liquidity game in the markets. They've been propping up the markets. They've been putting liquidity into the markets for many, many years since the Obama administration. So what's going to happen when they remove some of that liquidity out of the markets? A lot can happen that's not good for the bull market.
No.
So our thesis here at Risk On is we are short the Qs, we are short the spiders, and we're looking for some downward movement here coming into Tuesday afternoon into the Wednesday FOMC Jerome Powell speech. We're looking to see some significant movement in the macro markets. Yeah.
You know, so the funny thing is who is the comparison that we could compare ourselves against to try to get some insight on where this can lead? And the comparison is Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, this is all out of the Japanese playbook. The rise of the central bank and where we're at now and cutting rates.
Yep.
And then lifting them up a little bit. This is Japan, and it's a stagnation period. The thing is, though, is that I believe that inflation isn't transitory, and Japan
It's-
didn't experience the inflation that I think that we're going to experience.
Yeah, and also we have our fearless leader abroad in the G7 meeting talking about corporate tax rates, global tax rates, good for the globe, like all this stuff that's going on. We can't even pay our own bills right now. I just don't understand how
They
we can
can't raise rates
No.
because the interest on the debt alone will kill us.
Exactly. If the Fed funds rate goes up a quarter, that's an immense amount of money that they pay
Yeah,
just
man.
on the interest of the
We've
debt.
painted ourselves into a corner.
I know you all have seen. Let me just go to this. This is one of my favorite sites. We're going to go to Nick. You're going to pull this up for me, please, sir. And here we are, right here, live. USDebtClock.org.
Oh my God! Don't do this to me.
Just want to show
Yeah.
you this. If you have some anxiety, you might not want to look at the screen, and it's on the big screen back there to really magnify what's going on.
Oh my God.
28.4 trillion national debt.
Yeah.
So when you're born, when you come out as a newborn baby here in America, you already owe the debt of $85,000.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. I mean, the federal spending won't stop. We have an immigration plan that is non-existent. Just everybody can come here. We take care of everyone. I don't know if it's sustainable. I mean, so far we're 28 trillion in the hole. So
Yeah.
I mean, the formula seems like it doesn't work. But when is
No.
it going to be enough?
It doesn't work. Well, we won't know. We won't know until we hit critical mass and the machine stops and breaks down.
But it'll happen so quickly.
Oh, when it happens, it's going to be bad, man.
Like it could happen. Well, we weren't alive during the gas shortages.
No,
but like
I wasn't.
inflation can happen so quickly. All of a sudden, you could have things like shortages in food.
What do you mean? We have it now. Our supply chain is ruined.
Yeah, Starbucks is even having trouble. I noticed with supply chain.
Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks.
I mean, come on.
So what's going to happen for your family and your loved ones? Are you prepared with some stuff that's tucked away? You probably, if you lived in Florida like I did, you always had like an emergency kit. You have some food, water, flashlights, batteries.
I mean, at first blush, people think, "Hey, that sounds pretty crazy," but it's just responsible.
It is. That's all it is. What if you have some elderly neighbors? You can't really take care of themselves. You got a little bit extra. What's wrong with that? If you plan properly. Take care of your neighbor if you can, stuff like that. I mean, maybe that'll bring the country back together a little bit. It's sad that this could happen, but maybe some good would come out of it. But I see some issues coming up.
I also see some opportunity though here.
Yeah.
For the regular person, there's a way out. It's crypto and real estate.
For sure. And you know why they're putting so much pressure on the crypto market is because they see that as a way out. I mean, the dollar is just, it's since the Federal Reserve Act of like 1913, and the ability for the Fed to print dollars. It's a corporation.
Yep.
I mean, and then the IMF, the global banks. I mean, they're always trying to manipulate the dollar in order to keep it propped up.
Yes.
So it's the global reserve currency. It's the petrodollar for oil exchange. I mean, all this stuff is under pressure.
None of this could happen without that.
Exactly. How many countries do you know? Well, look at Venezuela. You think Venezuela carried a $28 trillion debt?
Exactly.
What did it take for Venezuela to go busto? They had like one of the biggest oil reserves in the world. And now look, they were literally making like paper mache out of their currency.
Yeah.
They flocked to Bitcoin.
Paper mache.
Central American countries now looking to adopt Bitcoin. Maybe they will copy. Was it El Salvador?
El Salvador.
Maybe they'll copy them.
Listen, keep your eye on El Salvador. They're going to get attacked for this.
For sure.
They're going to IMF. Somebody's going to come after them. Somebody's going to put the press on it.
I mean, what's going to be interesting is we're probably not too happy about it. I mean, I don't think it sets a way for some countries that generally rely on us.
Oh, you mean the U.S.?
Yeah, the U.S. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I mean, you could see they're going to make the case that, hey, some cartels can use it for illegal activity. Well, they already use the U.S. dollar. I mean, they've been using it for decades.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, who had Pablo Escobar had to bury his cash.
Yeah.
I
mean, so that's just a straw man's argument. I just don't think that's what they're looking at. Is they're fearful. And even former President Trump, he came out and said, I don't know about Bitcoin. It seems like it's attacking the dollar. Well, not attacking the dollar, but it's competition to the dollar.
Yeah, sure. And it could compromise the dollar.
Yeah, for sure.
And so they recognize that. But the answer that I believe, and I tell everyone watching in the audience, is the answer is hold hard assets.
Yes.
You gotta hold. I mean, I get everyone here is coming for trading and they want alpha.
Right.
But take a long-term approach and buy yourself hard assets. Get crypto. Crypto is property.
It is.
You are now priced out of the housing market. 10 million defaulted mortgages, guys. Who's buying all of it?
BlackRock. BlackRock and State Street. Yeah,
they're buying all of it.
and one other bank.
So we're not talking about the multifamily apartment complex deals that I do and that Todd does. We're talking about single-family doors, the houses that you grew up in.
Why would they be able to do that? There's plenty of multifamily opportunities.
Yes.
Why are they digging into the everyday middle-class American's ability for homeownership, the dream?
Alpha.
Yep.
Protection.
Greed.
They know exactly what's going to happen, and it's quite frankly, it's there for the taking.
But it's literally preying on middle-class America.
It is.
It's horrible.
This is an opportunity, and by the way, they're flush with cash.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're going to go hog wild, and they're going to put it together, and it'll be a REIT, and everyone will rent those homes, and your landlord will be BlackRock.
Yep.
And
then foreign countries will invest into the funds.
Yeah.
I mean, you might even have the fund in your 401k. I mean, it's just crazy. You're like investing against
I'm
yourself.
telling you, we're going to have a class that owns hard assets and owns land, and we're going to have a class that doesn't.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like an expanding class.
You could also see an increase of more government bennies, like Section 8 vouchers, stuff like that, just for people that can't afford to even rent anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Listen, I have someone coming in here tomorrow. The real estate informant, Lance Smith, is coming in here, and he specializes in pre-foreclosure short sales. And he picks up these assets at 40% of their value. I mean, he really has an amazing track record on it, and he'll tell you all about Section 8. When we sit down and meet with him, he knows all about that and all the incentives in that program. It could go either way. It's great. It's great for the developer. It's great for the investor.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, someone going to have to pay that bill.
One more thing before
and that's
Todd
us.
jumps back in here. 56 minutes ago, Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, or is it just JP Morgan now?
Yeah.
He's hoarding cash because very good chance inflation is here to stay.
It's J.P. Morgan Chase.
Is it still JP Morgan Chase? Okay. Well, anyway.
Chase is an important part of their business
Yeah,
model.
they're actually they've been known for hoarding hard assets, silver mainly, and now they're hoarding cash. So it looks like they're a little concerned about
Yep.
this inflation not being
They're
transitory.
Paul Tudor Jones said the same thing.
Yeah, Paul Tudor Jones' interview on CNBC was awesome.
Awesome.
And
I'll have
he's
to check that out.
it's
Yeah.
really good. You know, he's very conservative as far as
He's a
invest-
huge crypto bull.
Yeah, he is.
Master macro thinker.
Yep. Paul Tudor Jones actually says go all in on the inflation trades if Fed keeps ignoring higher prices. It's
Exactly.
actually on the screen.
Yeah, yeah. I have it
So,
on CoinDesk.
What would those be? Those inflation shades besides Bitcoin and crypto?
Real estate.
Well, precious metals and
Real
real
estate,
estate for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make a case for other things too. Like
Yeah, you can.
Well, Jason, if you were going to invest a lot of money, let's say $5 million
Yeah.
in precious metals, what method would you do it?
$5 million, I would probably
Tradable, you know?
Well, I'd want a good amount of that to be actually metal, like at least.
You want to take delivery.
I'd take delivery of half.
But what if you weren't in a position to take delivery because of your custodianship issues? We'll have to talk about that. All right,
we'll
I
talk
don't want
about
to
that.
distract everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would just do crypto. I'd just buy crypto. I'd buy Ethereum.
Yeah,
I'd buy $5 million worth of Ethereum. I bought $2 million worth of Bitcoin. Best thing I ever did. I'd buy $5 million worth of Ethereum, and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about the custody issues. You're going to get far greater alpha. You're going to be in a much better position. You're going to get far greater alpha than you would if you took delivery on what? Silver and gold and copper.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get 1,000 ounces of gold. That's $2 million. You could literally get 50 20-ounce tubes of American Eagles.
Yeah, you could. Yep.
Wait, don't you pay a premium for those American Eagles?
You do.
Yeah, but it's baked in. I mean, but the return is there too.
It's baked in
It's
because
like
when you
if you-
sell it, you get the premium.
Yeah, if you buy like a nice used CPO BMW, you know how it holds value. It's similar.
It's
to
similar
that.
to that. Because when you sell that, you get the premium on it as
Yeah.
well. So it's spot plus the premium.
Yeah.
So it's baked in. It's the cost of doing business.
Yep.
But what are companies going to do with their cash reserves on a balance sheet when inflation comes? That's a real thing. People we're talking about it from like the investor point of view, like the normal person. But what about companies? Don't they have an obligation and a duty that they owe shareholders to not sit on a melting ice cube?
I would say so.
Yeah. So what are they going to do? Why aren't they deploying that cash and putting it into hard assets to beat it? I mean, Saylor has done it to the extreme. You know, Tesla did it
Yep.
and received the benefit and then just completely sabotaged themselves. But, I mean, that has to be done.
So Diamond wants to sit on cash. Cash is king, but I think
Cash
Diamond
is king to use.
I think Diamond uses it to leverage into possibly crypto and more metals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's definitely a metals bull.
Exactly.
So-
he's saying keep your cash, get it out of equities. That's
Yeah.
probably what he's saying.
Yep.
And then deploy it on a hard asset.
Can we get rid of the Fed?
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening. anytime
Ron
soon.
Paul just wanted to audit the Fed, and they threw a fit. Never happened. Amazing.
Yeah.
I-
What the Fed? Are you nuts?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Well, what did Trump do with the Fed?
Is there any? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right, and wasn't that reversed?
Yeah, what did he do?
He
made
took
it-
control of it.
Yeah,
man.
he took control of
it
the
wasn't.
Fed.
It was no longer a separate entity.
Right.
He took control of it, and I believe that was reversed.
Yeah. I'm sure there was an executive
Well,
order
he
somewhere.
tried to do some things, but I don't know that he. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. He signed an executive order.
He needed
Yeah,
4 more
related
years to
to
do
it.
what he wanted to do,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
If I sound distracted, I would encourage you to check out ALZN Neuro. I'm not going to say anything till there's an official press release, but everyone knows what's happening. I would encourage you to look at sec.gov, and type in ALZN, ALZAMEND. 6 years in the making, 2 drugs, one a vaccine for Alzheimer's, and one a treatment for all kinds of psychiatric care, and one that we hope will slow the progression of Alzheimer's. Hope. A lot
proud
of
of you,
evidence, 10 years at the University of South Florida these drugs were at.
Yep.
There is a lot of hope that these 2 things will matter. I encourage you people to look at things like when Viagra was approved, other drugs came along the way that did kind of the same thing. The world is open to Alzheimer's drugs right now. The world needs a good quality Alzheimer's drugs. I think we're in a position to deliver something, and I hope for all those people, the 6 million people in the United States that have it, the countless millions around the world that have it, and millions more that will be diagnosed with what is considered to be one of the most scariest diseases ever. As a stock investor, as you guys know, if you read the prospectus, I'm leaving the day of the IPO as the executive chairman to focus my duties on Ault Global and Ault and Company, but we'll remain the largest shareholder. DPW Ault Global, if in the prospectus, discloses that Digital Power Lending has a big investment in the IPO and in the company. Ault Life Sciences, which is owned by Ault and Company, has a very big investment. I personally have a big investment. I started the company 6 years ago with $8,000, the help of Steve Caspi, a New York financier in a family office that gave me the original capital. Bill Coons and Spartan Capital helped me raise $8.6 million. The company's going public for what looks like around $500 million or so, give or take, 450 to 500 million. And that is before people understand what the drugs are. So I'm pretty excited about this. And so that's what I'm distracted about. I can't tell you to buy it. I can't tell you to sell it, but I would tell you to check out the prospectus. As soon as we go live with it tonight, everyone will know. It'll be out there.
I want to talk about some of the fundamentals, but I can't yet. I don't know what I can talk about, so I'm just going to...
hang tight, man. Hang tight.
Hang tight.
Yeah, I want to say congratulations. You know, since I met you, that's what you've been talking about, and just so the world knows, is that you have been an advocate for this thing since the day that I met you.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And there's been moments in time where I thought this wasn't going to happen.
And me too. And I've talked to you, and you've like really been wearing this thing. Like it's
for
been
sure.
On you.
Yeah.
So I'm very
and
happy
it's a big deal for Ault Global DPW shareholders. They have a huge stake. Huge stake.
I mean, that's definitely a huge
There's
deal.
a huge stake for the people who own Ault and Company.
Yeah.
You know, but more importantly, there's hope. We hope for people with Alzheimer's that these two drugs are going to make a difference and add to the choices that they're going to be able to make. Because this disease is a terrible disease, and there's really nothing out there.
Yep.
Nothing out there. I watched my father wither away from it. I saw my mother-in-law die from it. Really become unaware of who I am. My dad doesn't even know who I am when I'm with him. Doesn't even have a clue. My grandparents died from it. My grandma was afraid of me. She didn't even know who I was. She didn't want me around, you know. I remember being in a room. She says, "Who's that man? Is he going to take me away?" And she was very upset about it. Had dementia. And those people who have family members with Alzheimer's, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, but the positive note here is that the company's going forward. The company's going public.
And here's another positive note. This is the beauty of capitalism and markets.
Sure.
Someone like you took a risk. You spearheaded an effort. You used all your energy and connections, and look what happened. Now people are going to benefit from that.
Sure. People are going to benefit from it. And obviously, there's an economic benefit if the drugs are successful.
Yeah, sure. It's beautiful.
Oh, what did I miss, man?
We just went over some macro stuff. We talked about real estate.
Any individual stocks?
We got into we're just talking about a couple of uranium stocks that could be negatively affected by this incident here in China that's actually unfolding as we're on air. We don't know.
So the scary part when you read is like, oh, the leak isn't a big deal, which is code for it's a big deal.
They adjusted it, and then they adjust the parameters so it doesn't fall out of spec.
That's the problem.
With the IEAE and all this stuff with the global community.
Yes.
With what happened at Fukushima. I mean, we don't want to see this happen again.
How bad's the leak?
Well, it's really a
know.
radiation issue. It's a gas issue.
Yeah, it's noble gas.
So my thought on that, my initial thought, and even when we were talking about it earlier, was that the companies that deal with sensors and detectors, if they change the parameters and say, look, all nuke plants, you guys got to have an upgrade with sensors and detectors because we're changing some of the parameters here. The radiation, I think that might be a good play if they're publicly traded.
Hey, thank you for the congratulations, Robbie, Sound Waves, Amin. How do you say that? Amin?
Yep.
Yeah.
Drunk Turan, we know who you are. The third, Rod Wilson. I appreciate you guys. I'm hearing it should be starts trading around 7:35 Pacific time. The symbol is ALZN, Apple, Larry, Zebra, Nancy. That is the symbol. You know, let me tell you, what's our thoughts for $5? Our thoughts were that it's preclinical, but about to go in human beings. The price is priced well enough that people can participate. It's really kind of like a long-term leap, right? I mean, you're only going to own the stock, and whatever happens, right, at this price here,
Sure.
It's a reasonable price. It's not the perfect price. I mean, there are some Alzheimer's companies out there trading for really big prices, man.
Yeah.
Really crazy prices, right?
Yeah.
But we wanted the masses to be able to be in the stock. We didn't want to go crazy with it, and so it is what it is. I appreciate the congratulations, but I really do mean this. The people behind the two drugs really believe in them. The doctors and scientists behind AL001, which is Liposol, the co-crystallized treatment, and Dr. Chow, the inventor of Chow 22W, the vaccine, the immunotherapy, the mutant peptide, they worked on them for a long time. And I'll tell you how I got started with this. I had been the founder of Patient Safety Technologies. We bought Surge Account Medical. We merged it into a public company called Franklin Capital. Did really well for a while. Had some struggles. A lot of people came back. The original founder of Surge Account took over eventually. But it was ultimately sold to Stryker. And Brian Stewart and others did a great job of getting that turned around, along with Will Horne. And it ultimately went and got sold to Stryker for $120 million. And I've made a lot of money in healthcare and biotechs and medical devices. And when I had my own problems in 2008, 2009, and I decided to come back to Wall Street, I didn't want to come back without doing something that I thought would help humanity. And as much as cheesy as that sounds, this literally is a selfish act. And that is, I want my wife to live, I want my family to live, and I want them to live at least a reasonable life, even if you can slow the progression of Alzheimer's, right? There's been no real drug approved in 20 years up until Biogen, and I know people in the Biogen study, and I'm sorry, I just don't believe that's much of an improvement. And you can see that by recent resignations from FDA panels and what they think about the drug. I'm not commenting. Let their departures speak for themselves. It's not my job to comment. The FDA approved it, and I stand behind the FDA and whatever they decide, okay? But there has to be more choices. And I will say that most pharmaceutical companies will say that they didn't give up, but I think they gave up. There were so many rejected drugs and so much money spent in this space that they gave up. I'm sure that they don't think they did, right?
Right.
But sometimes stuff sits on the shelves at universities. Dr. Chow, Dr. Scheidel, all those people involved, the University of South Florida, which is one of the largest owners of ALZN Neuro. Keep in mind, I see haters out there telling us things aren't true. The University of South Florida is one of the largest owners of ALZN Neuro. The credibility of Dr. Wozniacki and the people involved here is real. Do yourself a favor and read the prospectus. Read the people behind it. And if you have someone with Alzheimer's, you know about it, I want you to go to 949-799-1831, 949-799-1831, type in ALZN or ALZN or put in my name. Josh will pass it along to me, and I'll make sure you're on the list. Because there is compassionate use, and I'm telling you, I believe in my heart, I hope in my heart these drugs are coming. And I met someone at a UCLA party on Saturday night for my son, talks about her dad being an early stage Alzheimer's patient. And I said, hey, AL001 is coming. We're expecting this to be in patients soon in September, a little time after, I think maybe July, August, so around September or so.
Yep.
Regardless of that, pay attention to this. If you have family members that have Alzheimer's, dementia, early stages, you're going to want to pay attention to this. On top of that, if you have people that take lithium and they have to have that blood test, AL001 is a potential lithium replacement without a drug test because it's co-crystallized. Learn about this. This is the largest asset I have and the biggest investment I have. And I look forward to you guys being part of it, or at least asking me questions. I don't care what you do, but if you care about Alzheimer's, contact me at 949-799-1831, and I'll pass all the information I can along to you and your loved ones. With that in mind, would you want to extend, or are we ending it up here?
No, we could close. I just want to say I think the pricing is right. I do. I think that pricing is set to fly.
Well, that's very kind of you. But Jason,
Yeah.
you want to add anything here?
I wish I could talk about the fundamentals of the stock. But
Yeah, we
Hey, Skyla, did you do your joke yet?
No,
Not yet.
I was waiting for
Torches.
you.
Let's do it.
So, what do you call an illegally parked frog? Toad.
Skyla, you get these things in good places.
Nice.
Hey, I'm super sentimental about this. I'm glad that everyone's here. Jason, you know I've been talking about this for a couple years. haven't
yeah,
I?
for sure.
The whole time I've known you.
It was in my backyard, University of South Florida.
Yeah, in your backyard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Special thanks to Willie Ames, the first spokesman for ALZN Neuro. The whole team, everyone involved. Steve Smith, a big investor, supported me. Bill Coons, banker at Spartan, who's been a personal friend for years. Eric Fleshy. There's a lot of people involved in this IPO. I'm going to forget your names, and I promise you, I'll acknowledge you eventually when I remember you. But I'm a little lost. Gary Gottlieb, who was a champion for AL001. Gary knows I appreciate him. Joe, all the team that supported everything. This is Risk On. This is the 93rd episode. It is June 14th. And I can't think of a bigger Risk On opportunity than what we're doing in bringing ALZN Neuro public.
Please tune in tomorrow,
We'll
too.
see you tomorrow.
Yes.
It is going to be a crazy day.
Yes.
It is a crazy, crazy day. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.